Talk about an out-of-this-world, first-of-its-kind company sending everything except for you and me, humans, into space. It's like space tourism for inanimate objects. I mean, you name it, baby strollers, a chicken nugget, a Slurpee, they've sent it all into space. And joining us from the UK to explain this technological phenomenon, we have Sent into Space founder Dr. Chris Rose, and we also have is it Alex Baker? Do I have that right? This morning?
Right.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for joining us. I was reading about your company. Chris, I love this. You said this began with a crackpot idea. Tell us where this out-of-this-world dream came from to begin with.
Well, yeah, thanks for having us, Markie. I guess you could describe it as a crackpot idea. As with anything unusual and groundbreaking, it does, start with an air of the unusual, and that sort of continued through our work. But our early work was actually not really focused on the visual side of things. A lot of our early work was focused on more sort of the testing of ruggedized technology that was designed for use in space. So a lot of work in the CubeSat industry and things like that. But within 5 years or so of our beginnings, we were pretty much entirely transformed as a company to be probably operating about 95% capacity as an advertisement platform. So anybody who wants to do something novel in space, we were the people you'd go to.
I just think this is fantastic. And also, we've had so much focus here lately on launching humans into space from companies like Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic. I mean, what made you decide to go the route of inanimate objects, paintings and food and whatnot?
The lawyers' bills are a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I'm sure
financial reasons.
Don't want us to go anywhere near people. But, we really work backwards from the request of clients. So a client will come to us with an ambition, whether that's related to a new movie release or perhaps it's a product-based activation opportunity. And we figure out how we can best showcase that product, that service provision, or whatever it is in the most sort of theatrical and attention-grabbing way in the novel environment of space. So it really depends upon what we're asked. And we've been asked for some pretty unusual things.
Yeah, speaking of, I wanted to go over that. I mean, Barbie, wedding dress, a portrait of William Shakespeare. Is there one particular item that stands out to the two of you as being, okay, this is bizarre. This is the strangest one that we've done yet?
Well, I think there's some that I probably shouldn't mention on a family-friendly news station.
Oh, do it. Come on.
Well, just think, adult entertainment industry. But, these are things that would be requested of us, but not actually come to fruition, though, a gig's a gig, so to speak. But generally speaking, some of the most proudest moments, I think, for me, relative to some of our more scientific endeavors. So we did a mission where we had to design a craft to explore a portion of the upper atmosphere, take a sample of that and be returned to Earth for scientific analysis under microscope. And within that, we found a very startling discovery, which was an example of very simple organic life, what's called a diatom. And that actually landed us on the Morgan Freeman show Through the Wormhole, and has been a sort of continued theme, the diatom, through a lot of our endeavors. In fact, actually, it led us to release our watches, diatom watches, which contain some of these unique selling points relative to space.
And speaking of that coverage that your company has received, that some of these, clients of yours have received too. I know back in 2020, a supermarket launched that single chicken nugget into space, and that very week they ended up selling 10 million nuggets following the launch. I mean, on average, how much does a launch cost, and what type of return on investment do your clients typically see afterwards?
Well, it's such a unique staging point. So attention, they're going to get in droves. It's very often a different metric to put to any client and compare one to the next. But generally speaking, we're in a new space race. The global focus is on space. And so attention is never a problem when it comes to any sort of exercise that we undertake. When it comes to project cost, it's so scalable, which I know sounds like an evasive answer, but genuinely, we operate upon in the aerospace sector, and within that sector, there's a huge amount of variables which can drive cost, quite aggressively. How high we go, how heavy things are, the complexity of the onboard systems. If Coca-Cola want us to present a drink above the Earth, that's one thing. But to have robotics open the drink and pour it, that's another. So generally speaking, our projects can range from the low thousands through to the hundreds of thousands relative to requirement.
Wow, it's making me think what I would send up if I had the chance. You got my brain rocking and rolling this morning, guys. Alex Baker, Dr. Chris Rose, really cool. Thank you, and congrats on all the success. Pretty neat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.